Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Flight Club Round 1, presented by New.Whiskyorder. We're here gathered today to go through 5 blind whiskeys. As I say, we'll be tasting them blind. We have no hints as to what the whiskeys are, where they're from, ABVs, or anything like that. So it should be fun. And knowing the way I guess do blind whiskey tastings, probably hilarious. So I'd like to welcome everybody to the event. I'm excited to get going. Tonight we got the brain trust, as it were, of Flight Club, person who came up with this. I've got Adam Farr with us. So first off, Farzy, thanks for coming up with this concept. This is kind of the continuation of the Flight Club concept, but tell us about the original setup.
Sure. So thanks. I think it's floated it by Russell a while ago. Really wanted to figure out how we could build community, get people sharing whiskey amongst each other. And some podcasts that I listen to, they do a lot of blind tasting. So I thought that was an interesting way to try whiskey without putting some bias into the drinks that you're drinking. So that'd be really cool to try things out that way. And get to try a lot of things that I personally don't have access to in Ontario. So, but really it was a lot of it was about building community with everybody. So that was kind of thought, kind of kicked off and went really well. And we're hoping to sort of reinvigorate it after this tasting. So probably put a shout out to the community after this and try to get things rolling again. So anyone interested, we'll be reaching out.
I know that I can say with shame, I still have a Flight Club from before that I still have to get through. For those of you who maybe have joined NWO lately or aren't familiar with the Flight Club concept, everybody would sign up and be assigned a partner, and you'd put together samples of stuff from your collection and then send that off to the partner blind. And then you'd be able to check it out, go through it, post your notes and your guesses. So as Adam said, it was really great for the community. People got to meet each other. People got to swap whiskeys. People got to post videos on the group talking about the whiskeys that they're trying, their tasting notes, their guesses. So just a great concept and a great way to really bring the group together. So for tonight, again, building on that concept, we've got 5 whiskeys, all blind. So you'll see on your sample bottles, they are labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So should be pretty easy to keep track of what we're going through tonight. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here so that we can check it out here. So hopefully that's going to show up there on everybody's screen. And we'll get her going here. So next up, I want to introduce our guides for this evening. That's Nick Hardy and Tim MacKenzie. Nick, why don't you say hello or bonjour, salut.
Salut tout le monde. Gotta say it. Super excited. I loved Flight Club from the first time it was announced. Thank you, Adam, for thinking of that. It's like I've posted some stuff on the Facebook group, and some people have commented, "Oh, you have nice notes and stuff." But overall, I love the fact that I'll be wrong 99% of the time with the blind sample. I have a pretty strong idea about the first one, even though I'm pretty sure it's not what I think it is, but whatever. I love the sharing. I love that people commented on each other's video, and it got a lot of engagement. And I'm super happy to be here with Myke, Tim, Russell, who left, but Russell when he's here, and every one of you.
Fantastic. Thanks, Nick. Tim, say hello.
Hey, everybody. Tim MacKenzie down here in dirty Jersey. Obviously, you have to love at least I love a blind tasting. It kind of wipes the slate clean. You're just considering what you're bringing to the table as far as nose and palate. I feel like it's like the great equalizer. So, you know, with the way the NWO first started these Flight Club tastings, it's an amazing way just to open up dialogue between different members, to splash and surprise people with maybe some whiskey that they're not used to. Like when I first started doing it, I would go through and look at the person who I got paired with. I'd look at all their posts in NWO and try to like just sneak something in there that they would never expect, or something that maybe like a distillery they bagged on. Just, you know, it creates this fantastic linkage between the members. So this is a super cool way to kind of round it out with how we normally do our tastings. So very, very happy to be here. I'll do my best to keep this entertaining, and looking forward to sharing some drams with all you folks.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, gentlemen. All right, so let's go ahead and dive on in here. So of course, Russell and I are the only ones who know what's in these sample bottles. So I will not be guessing tonight, but I may chip in with a few tasting notes, some of which may be right, some of which may be wrong. You just never know. So let's everybody jump onto whiskey number 1, and Tim and Nick start walking us through this one. Let's pick it apart.
Are these like, are we doing, like, we have literally no idea. So are these world whiskeys, or are we just talking about single malts? Is it?
I think it's pretty open.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm sure there's an root in there.
You know what? Fuck it, I'm not going to tell you anything. Y'all sort it out amongst yourselves.
If I had to get, just judging by the noses, I would say that I don't think they're all like single malt scotches, but I also I've been known to be wrong.
I'm wrong like 100% of the time, so let's do this.
Tim, one thing I like to do is pour a sample and fresh one sniff, and then try to have a guess. Just because like it's, oh yeah, I'm sure it's that, and then see how it evolves. And I have to say, when I poured it, one sniff, it's Lafroy Kaitcheras Warehouse 1. Whoa. Now I'm not so sure, but that's what I had. The first sniff, it's like, oh, it's Lafroy, it's Kaitcheras, tropical fruit, palms of peat. I'm sure it's not that now, but first sniff, I had a strong tar note.
Interesting. I'm getting.
I will say, I absolutely love that Kaitcheras. That Warehouse 1 is.
Yeah.
That whiskey to me is like, if you bare bones Lafroig spirit and just let it do its thing, that Kaitcheras is exactly like where every Lafroig conversation should begin.
Yeah,
like, it's an amazing whiskey, and you can still get it for banger prices, even on the secondary market. It's still good, but I'm getting some like some apple, a light cinnamon, almost like if you've had an apple pie that uses certain types of apples that are not particularly sweet, like cider kind of specific apples, more tart, maybe a little green, but I definitely get apple with a little spice. That I think maybe the oak is contributing to that too.
Yeah, now I'm getting a bit of ice cider.
Oh yeah, I could see that for sure.
Yeah, slightly sweet, slightly pungent a bit. Yeah,
and the peat is there for sure, just not on the nose. It's not super prevalent to me.
Yeah.
When you burn the alcohol off of this, it comes up like a lecheg.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I like Simon's note in the chat there. As soon as I poured this, my first thought was Springbank. But interestingly, as we were talking, because I poured these, it's almost an hour ago now. I no longer really get that industrial note on the nose. Like it's really dissipated, and I would not have been able to like detect it at this point.
Yeah, I poured mine about a half an hour ago, and when I first poured it, that as the first, I poured it in order. I got more of like I could see it being a Springbank sort of situation, but now in the glass it's changed in that half
It's
hour.
crazy how it evolves, like I was like, oh, Lafroig now, Lecce kind of makes sense. Oh, Springbank, and you guys were saying, oh, Springbank, but there's not this industrial note anymore. And then you kind of wonder, and this is what I love about the blind tasting. Like sometimes you might guess right, like you have, I don't know, some strong peat, like an Octomore bourbon cask or whatever, it is that because it smells so strong. It's very unique. But most of the time, not sure. So we should maybe have a taste.
Yeah, Adam just dropped a great note in the chat too. Apple cider, but tea as well. And I could get some like an Earl Grey or a Scottish breakfast.
I'm getting some really nice tropical fruit. I'm getting some just charred pineapple on there.
Whoa, on the palate. Whoa. There's the peat.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna stay with
You're sticking with your
Lafroig.
guns?
I'm gonna stay with Lafroig.
I don't think it's punchy enough to be a Lafroig.
I know, but
I'm not
The
sure.
thing is, if it's an old barrel.
Yeah, it could be if it's like a refill.
Yep.
Oh yeah, what do we think the cask is, guys?
Well, that's a good one.
Ladies and gents.
refill bourbon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've tasted a few old Ardbeg that has this tropical notes with, it's but all barrel, not fresh one or fresh edition of me. I mean, Ardbeg maybe.
That's the thing. It's got that like subdued peat of of an older whiskey, but it's not as oaky as you would expect for like a 20-something-year-old Isla whiskey.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think it's got to be less than 15, but island. I think it is an island peat. I'm not convinced that it's Isla though.
No, not either. I'm gonna say a second filled bourbon barrel. And something that's a little bit, I'm thinking there's some older stuff in here, like quite old stuff, and they've added something a little bit newer to it to pick it up.
That's totally viable.
Yeah,
there is a punchiness.
I'm getting a little bit of that, like that old wood that you get, but there's just a little bit of crispness to it. So
For me, a drop of water really, really opened up the nose.
Yeah, good call.
Brought out
that's
a lot of
illegal.
like fresh,
that
fresh
guy's
fruit,
always
like
adding
fresh
water to
peaches
his
and nectarines.
Yo, Mike,
And
you can't add water. You can't add water. That's cheating.
Mm.
It's like steroids. That's like steroids for wine tasting.
Call me Mark
yeah.
McGuire.
Yeah, I
Very
guess.
So much vanilla now.
Yeah, a ton, and stone fruits.
Yeah, I get grilled peaches and vanilla pudding now.
I'm getting like a sunrise papaya.
Oh yeah, this is fruity.
Yeah, I definitely get more peach with that bit of water. I'm not getting as much of the vanilla.
I'm impressed with this. Whatever
Yeah.
it is, I'm a fan.
That's good.
What a crazy one to start with, Russell, you madman.
So Russell is wearing a Monsters of Isla t-shirt. I'm gonna say it's an Isla for sure. Refill bourbon.
But I'd say it's a pretty low ABV. It's around 46, maybe 48. Not much than this.
I agree with that too.
I think 46 on the top end.
Yeah, I would have said less, like 40 to 43.
I will say it is really good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just objectively, this is a beautiful whiskey.
So Mike, maybe when we're done, you can like drop one hint. Then we make like a final statement and you reveal. I don't know if anyone's up for that. Like we can guess and then I don't know. You can say like green and we all say Lafroig, or you say like I don't know, island or whatever, and we have a final guess.
Okay, so for the hint,
No,
it is
hey,
Scotch.
it's a question. It's an open question. I don't know if anyone's up. No one wants it. Yep. No. Oh.
It is
It's
Scotch.
Scotch. I'll tell you that much.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
You are a badass.
Super helpful, right?
Hey, you look like me today. A kid asked me, how can I have a better time at running? Run faster. Good advice.
That's fair. All right, who's got some guesses?
Man.
Reggie, what do you got, man?
I'm terrible at this, man. I'm just trying to learn. I just put snap on the bottom, man. I'm just enjoying it.
All right, Ken, what do you think?
I'm thinking it's second fill bourbon, 43% max. I'm thinking that it's somewhere in about 22 years old.
Hmm.
And I'm also thinking that it might be a blend.
Interesting,
Okay.
interesting. I'm thinking that I'm gonna drink the rest of mine.
That's what I just did. It's beautiful though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Bowmore.
Ooh,
And,
With bourbon.
and I'm gonna go with one of their with like a non-age statement situation. Maybe like Voyage
okay, okay.
at 46.
Nicole, I know you can't talk. Maybe throw something into the chat. JP, what do you think, my friend?
Listening to Tim, Bowmore is a great guess.
Do you know what
Um,
changed my mind? Smelling the glass now that it's empty.
That's
joke.
tomorrow's job.
For me, it's an ILA for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Bowmore, it's a great guess. I didn't think about this one.
Mm.
But since you mentioned it, I think I'll stick with Bowmore too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nick, what do you say, buddy?
Yeah, Bowmore. Now that I think of it, like Bowmore, I just have Bowmore Tempest in mind.
Okay.
I know it's not that. It's just now I can't take it out of my head.
Or a suggestion.
Sorry, I messed that everything.
Way to go, Tim.
I'm
Wow.
gonna go with over 20 years refill bourbon sub 48% Lafroig. I'm gonna stick with that. Seems a bit tired, so over 20
Okay.
years.
Okay, Dr. Adams.
I don't know. I feel like my initial gut was that this was not Isla, but now I'm being swayed by the Bowmore crew. I was gonna say something like a peated Glen Scotia or something like that
Ooh.
with that initial industrial bit, but I could see this being a tired Bowmore. I don't think it's that old though. I think we're probably looking at something that's just like younger and underproofed. Or if it is older, it's in a pretty tired cask and it's sort of low proof, like maybe one of those like old particular bottlings or old malt cask bottlings where they're kind of and they're a little bit weaker, something like that.
OMC,
right.
that's a good call.
I like that. I like that. All right. Anybody else got any guesses?
Simon here. I'm gonna go with a long row. I like everyone's
Ooh,
Bowmore. I
ooh.
thought of Bowmore. It was really Lafroigy on the palate, but I've never smelled a Lafroig that smelled like this one. So I'll go with the long row. I think it might be a little higher proof than everyone gives it.
Credit for.
Could be
I would
in the
agree,
50s,
I'd say 46 to
50s,
47.
It
but,
could just be really well integrated for sure.
yeah, that's the guess I'm landing on.
Yeah, I mean, it could be old as shit. You just
We do
never
have-
know.
We do have Nick at Black Cat in the chat who said a quirky IB, Ben Nevis, around 12 years.
Ooh, one of those peated Ben Nevises that everybody loves and I hate.
I feel like those aren't subtle though. Those just like smack you in the face.
They really do. They really do. But it's an interesting idea. All right, so drum roll. It's time for the reveal.
Oh, wow.
Hey, it's Lefroy.
Mother of God.
There you go.
Let's watch Russell break a cork.
So 1-0 for me, eh?
Yep.
Come on, Russ, that up, boy.
All right. Look at that guy. Unreal.
What a beauty. So yes, the 2016 bottling of Lefroy 30, distilled 1985. Almost
Birth
as
year
old as
bottle.
me.
Me too.
So yeah, we had a lot of guesses with ex-bourbon barrels. That was correct. A lot of guesses with lower proof, 46 to 48. Again,
53.
something this old, get up to 53%. Should be, you'd expect it to be pretty well integrated. And I think it's fair to say that it was.
Yeah.
I for one will say that I love this stuff. It is so good.
Yeah, it was really good.
It's spectacular.
Awesome drum.
Both ways, guys. Great starter. Jeez.
I am blown away.
So you're telling me that's our first dram and we're ending it. We're ending the Flight Club with the vodka. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
we're
gonna
And
be
it's
tough
gonna
to
over.
swallow.
start with a 30-year-old frog and end with dirty vodka.
Yeah.
Because that's how we roll at NWO.
Before we do make.
The glass has this like salty leather kind of a leftover. Oh my gosh, it's
That's
fantastic. Russell, you madman.
That's amazing.
One, I'll
Good
say
start.
one of the things that I enjoyed most with this one is the mouthfeel. It is, particularly with a drop of water, it is thick, it is rich, it is coating. It's just a really lovely whiskey.
I am thoroughly blown away. I can't believe we're starting with a birth year bottling too. Bonkers.
That was
When
high
are you're-
school.
you're
What are you
85
talking about
also,
birth
Mike?
year?
Start with a bang there.
Yeah,
What's
that's let's get it going. All right, so on
Where do we go
to
from here? I mean, holy crap.
And we're done.
Yeah, I'm out.
Just shut it
Peace.
down.
Leaving on a high note.
I'm gonna go drink something good now.
Oh,
I'm gonna go find myself a Millstone Nass.
there we go.
Although those old ass millstones are looking pretty good, I will say.
I don't know, man. I had a sample of an Oloroso one recently that I thought was pretty rough, and I really liked that that Virgin Oak one that was in Canada. And I also really thought that last one we had in NWO tasting was super interesting, but this one was pretty rough, and it was 22 years old or something.
Wow.
Well, I don't think anybody's gonna find whiskey number 2 tonight, Ruff.
No.
Welcome to Cantaloupe Land.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. I
At
get
least for me, that's what I'm getting.
I get kiwi also.
All those tropicals, yeah.
Nice big basket of melons.
There is like a lime rind.
There's a little bit of cereals.
Yeah, I like the
Just in
cereal
the
note for
background,
sure.
Yeah. Bit of like honey.
I was gonna say honey graham cracker.
Yeah.
I get a little bit of Wendy's Frosty in there.
Ooh, okay.
Nice. Are you gonna say?
Melons, Wendy. I think you're thinking of an ex-girlfriend, Mike.
I don't even know what it is.
There is
there's
oregano. I
some-
get that, David. 100%.
There is a little peat on it. I don't think it's Isla peat though. David,
Yeah, Simon, I get that bergamot as well.
Mm.
It's like Earl Grey that's been left steeping just a little bit too long.
and David says oregano.
I get that, definitely.
Yep, it's at the end of the nose for me.
Wow, I've never had oregano.
I get that as well.
Mhm.
That's
Very
a-
herbal.
Great
call,
call.
Great call, bud.
And mezcali that's an interesting drop too. I just had like a mezcal artisanal last week as a sidecar to a margarita that I made, and it had that kind of herbaceous, smoky mezcali type of thing, and I do get that a little bit here too.
One
Some
sniff.
honey.
All I had was Linkwood.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. Spearmint note just got dropped. Lily of the Valley, I could definitely catch that too. Russell, you may be right there. I'd have to drop a little research into that, but I think you are correct.
That is correct.
See another whiskey tasting HBO crossover coming up.
Oh man. Oh my
Breaking Bad? How have we
If
not
you-
done Breaking Bad?
If you thought we were getting cut off for Flight Club,
Oh,
Breaking Bad one's-
In the next blind tasting, all the whiskeys will be blue.
bad.
and that's how our group gets shut down.
Yeah.
All right, this is interesting. I'm
Yeah.
liking this nose. It's so different from the Lefroy.
Mm.
I'm diving into the palate. Let's see what we got.
I just got a little persimmon.
This is definitely got that funky wet hay.
Mm.
A little bit of menthol in there.
It's very soft. It takes a lot of time to actually open up.
Yeah, it's like a rain, like a spring rain or something.
Yeah.
Mm.
I feel like I may have had this spirit before. There's something very recognizable on the
Mm.
palate.
I definitely get Simon's Kalila reference on that palate.
Yeah.
There's certainly some citrus going on there.
Yeah.
But it's got a little bit of white pepper on it as well.
100%.
And I see where that spearmint comes in.
Yeah, it's in the finish for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, on the palate, I have the those French sausage. Like it's kind of meaty, super fresh. You get them grilled. It's not like a big red meat. A bit of pork, and you have scallops in there and stuff.
Drop of water brings out more peat on the nose for sure.
That Myke Ames in his water, I tell you.
I'm thirsty. What can I say? The thirst is real, Kent.
I hear you. It goes like this. See, there's the water bottle, there's the whiskey glass.
Mm.
Mm.
Tasted a few lechek that reminds me of that one. So the hearty, grassy earthy with the salty too. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely get that really nice brininess.
Yep.
I get some like creosote soaked rope, hemp rope,
Okay.
but that melon, those melons are definitely still there in the palate,
Interesting.
coming
combo.
through real nice.
Oh man, I think I'm gonna chuck something in the ring here.
Go boy.
Let's hear it.
Do it.
I'm thinking Glen Scotia.
The skosh.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm
Now-
gonna say it's not peated. It's just great sulfur.
I feel like our only like spoiler for this set was that they were all peated.
That is true.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't want to drop the bomb on that, but I fully agree with that 1000%. When I cracked them, I was like, okay, so this is what we're doing.
Yeah, I probably should have been a little bit more clear.
No, it's better like that. Just because then you just have to rely on your senses.
No, you shit the bed, Russell.
And gals.
I was honestly,
Ooh, Talisker and Nicole. Interesting.
yeah,
Mm.
I think that's an interesting call too. I was kind of throwing around Highland Park refill before I said.
Yeah, I kind of like Highland Park more than Talisker. I feel like Talisker is usually more peppery and not in this sort of peppermint way.
That's valid too.
I feel like the
say
only
the finish on this is super long.
Yeah, I
And
dig it.
like, even after, like a minute and a half after I had my last sip, there's more stuff happening. Like I'm getting a wave of peat, and then there's this really nice minerality, like struck flint.
Yep.
Then it's back to honey, and then the spearmint. Like it's just all over the shop.
Yeah, I agree.
Mhm. I feel like the only way or the only reason this is Highland Park was for Russell and Myke to mess with me and say, "Hey, you think you like Highland Park, eh? You don't even recognize it. You
Yeah.
suck, Nick."
You suck,
That's what I
Nick.
get.
Take that, Nick.
Oh, Portiskeag, that I when I was nosing it, I was initially thinking that it kind of reminded me of some of the Bunnahabhain Monia, like bourbon single casks that I've had, and I know they chuck in some whiskey to Portiskeag, so that's a good call too, Myke.
Well, the question, Mike, is which port ass cake?
That's true.
Because it could be a Bunna, could be Coolila,
Totally.
could be a frog, apparently.
So it is a port ice cake.
Is it though? I'll
So
tell you,
every-
it's Scotch, Nick.
So okay, I'm gonna have a guess. Because every single time I think this is not like a whiskey is slightly peated, and I think no, that's not Springbank. It is a Springbank. So I'm gonna say this is Springbank. Again, ex-bourbon cask. Young. Oh, you know what? The single cask. So under what, 20 years, under 20, between 15 and 20, 50% ABV, 51%. And yep, that's my guess.
All right.
Make drop.
Okay, who's next?
I'm sticking Glen Scotia, and I think I'm gonna go. It's between 15 and 18 ex-bourbon in the like 52 to 55 zone percent alcohol, and ex-bourbon also.
Okay, Kent.
I'm gonna say it's a long row. It's got that barnyard wet hay nose that I always get out of the long row. It's got that little bit of peat. I'm gonna say this is done back in the late 90s. And I'm gonna say ABV on it's about 48.
Okay. Who else has got a guess?
I'm kind of with Simon. I think it's older Kalila in that 48% range.
Mhm.
Ex-bourbon.
All right, well, let's get
I mean,
into
the Team
the
Long Row too.
long row. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, I
This
like
one
it.
even blew my mind. This is the first time I've had it.
So let's.
That's a
And
hint.
this is one of few distilleries I could even guess. I actually have a chance at guessing, and I never would have guessed this.
Well, I will say I know what this is, but nosing it, tasting it, I am absolutely convinced this is a Kalila.
Okay, kinship
Oh.
bottle.
Kinship.
It is a Jim McEwen hand selected single cask Bowmore 21 year.
Wow.
Shit.
I
Okay.
wouldn't have guessed that.
Holy crap.
That ain't no Kalila.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Look at
So
Russ,
we're-
2 for 2, attaboy.
Was this one of the ones that was bottled for what is
Yes.
it called? Yeah. Ardaho. Yeah.
Yeah, this was bottled to commemorate, I think, the opening of Ardenho or laying the first cask or something like that. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, Jim specifically picked this one. A couple refill hogsheads, 21 years old, 53.2%. Just absolute oddball. And like I said, even though I knew what this is, my nose and my palate were screaming Kalila. This is Kalila. This has to be Kalila. Bowmore.
And
Bowmore.
it's during Jim's term at Bowmore also that this was distilled. So that's interesting.
Wow, nice.
Interesting, Jim. Nice call.
That was a fun little whiskey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Rock it
Yeah,
along.
there was
Russell.
too much funkiness in it to be a Bowmore or even a Kalila for me. It's
Yeah.
For sure. That barnyard, it's not farmyardy like some of the laddies are. But there was that walking past a farmhouse kind of vibe. I'm blown away.
Well, 2 for 2 whiskeys. Real nice. Let's go for number 3.
What was the ABV on that one? I wasn't paying close enough attention.
53.1.
All
Or
right.
2.
I was in the zone. I got 1 or 2 parts, semi-correct.
Don't let me get in my zone. All right, so this is different again.
Yeah, I'm getting more farmyard from this than the last one.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, it smells a bit like a cow shit.
So probably Kilkerran.
Where's
Or
Travis?
Ardmore.
To me, there's 2 Port Charlottes. There's clean Port Charlottes and there's dirty Port Charlottes. And this is on like the median between the 2.
Mm.
Yeah, I think I'm going PC on that.
Yeah, that screams farm all over the place. Like
Yeah.
everything you remember about being on a farm when you're a kid. Kind of that excitement you have going there, and you're still a bit disgusted by everything that's happening around you. Kind of the same. It's, like those baby diapers notes. Yeah, kind of like that.
I'm
think that
getting
this is
loads of berries from this, like
yeah.
strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, all just a little bit overripe.
Yep.
flowers,
think-
berries. It's the
Yeah.
best nose we had.
I'm gonna throw out a call immediately, way early, even before I taste it. I think this is the PC 16-year-old Port Charlotte 16.
Ooh,
I'm gonna say Ardmore pre-tasting.
Yeah, Port Charlotte for me, that was first sip was that kind of like you said, Tim's kind of clean smoke, clean peat that screams British. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Port Charlotte. Yeah.
Agree.
The finish. I mean, I've been known to be wrong too. Like I had a Glen Glassaw recently that I would have sworn I would have put money down that it was an Isla. And I've had an Ardmore also that I would have bet that it was an Isla too. So that's a possibility, but I'm sticking to my guns here. I think it's the PC 16 OB. It's delicious. I'm a fan.
For me, that's the easiest. For me, that's the easiest. The easy drinker. Like
That's like a
the
dessert.
one you just.
Everything cream for
come
dessert,
home,
man.
yeah, you come home. You just want to have a very nice dram. You know you love. It's nothing too complicated, but you got a decent complexity to it. Yeah.
It's a good pick.
Very tasty.
I don't find this overly complex.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, it falls pretty flat mid palate.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, there is like a shut-off valve almost.
Yeah.
Also, now that I've had it, I think it's also Port Charlotte.
But the finish, the peaty finish does continue for a good chunk. Whereas like the mid palate kind of cuts off. That peatiness, it continues to trickle.
Yeah, it's like you breathe fire. For me, this is like the peat British use is exactly that, like a dragon mouth. Whether it's Port Charlotte or Octomore, it's really more. It's the only Scotch I find smoky and not peated and smoky. For me, British is that. Like it's just smoke.
I'm getting just a load of lemon on that finish.
Yeah, it's very, very citrusy.
Yeah. And like lemon
water.
zest and some lemon pith, like the bitterness in there.
With water, that and the peat get even bigger. It's like the nose to me, I could sit and nose this all day.
I think it's one of the better noses of the three for sure.
Yeah, agree. Totally.
We got a lot of Port Charlotte guesses. Anybody think it's anything but?
I'm almost going with a committee release of Ardbeg, like a drum.
Ooh.
Or grooves.
I got a lot of bananas and drum. I don't get bananas in this one.
Yeah, but you know how like drum gives you that spike right at the beginning, and it also both actually the drum and the groove, they just flatten out and they kind of go to nothing quickly.
Yeah,
You're right.
I find fermentation did that too.
Yeah.
The
thing
so
about
I find Ardbeg does this whole range of peat, and every time I have a slightly less peated Ardbeg, I'm like, this is not Ardbeg, and then but Ardbeg has a wide range, and I think Bowmore and Port Charlotte, Octomore all have this very specific peat note, and Ardbeg just does it all. I think this is what throw people off from Ardbeg. They're like, we like Uigeadail. Like, this is not as peated or as sherry cask as Uigeadail, so it's not Ardbeg, but they have a freaking huge range of peat notes.
Just flip them some Blasda and see what they think.
Blasda?
Yeah.
That's why when they came out with Hypernova, I was very, very happy because it's a true Ardbeg again. Reminds me of like Dark Cove and stuff like that, right? They're alligator.
Super good, yeah.
All right. Well, are we ready for the reveal?
Let's go.
Is it Scotch? Is it Scotch?
It's definitely Scotch.
Okay.
So the drum roll.
Oh,
Gladdy.
3D.
Oh,
So the Port Charlotte guesses were partially correct.
mhm.
So this one is a vatting of Bruichladdich Spirit, Port Charlotte Spirit, and Octomore Spirit,
Oh,
Super
Um,
cool.
all in different casks, all aged in different warehouses.
Yep.
And then thrown together in 2006. Now, I was reading a little bit about this. Norrie Campbell. This is the Norrie Campbell tribute bottling. Norrie Campbell was the last person on Isla to be a professional peat cutter. His job was to manually go out, cut peat out of the bogs, and haul it back to the
Port Ellen maltings.
to Port Ellen,
Yeah.
to where they would malt the barley. So he passed away, and Bruichladdich put this bottling out to commemorate him and the history.
That's
So
cool.
if I remember correctly, when they first vatted this, I think it was Port Charlotte. It was either Port Charlotte or Octomore didn't actually exist yet as a brand.
Yeah. I think,
So they vatted it with like non-peated Bruichladdich, peated Bruichladdich, and super duper peated. What the fuck is this stuff, Bruichladdich? And you end up with the 3D3. So
super cool.
That's a cool story. That's cool.
nice little whiskey, nice little bit of whiskey history.
I have never had this one before, and I always wanted to try it. So
I
Russell,
haven't
there you
either.
go.
I'm the laddie guy. I've never tried this one. I'm glad we had a chance to try this one. Thanks, Russ.
Most welcome.
super cool. I have
Hey,
I have a feeling that the Bruichladdich is probably an older Bruichladdich, like a 1990s situation, because I know I've been there for a couple conversations with Jim, and they were trying to find somewhere to put a lot of some of the more tired casks from the.
Send them about Alberta then.
1990s.
Yeah.
They re-racked them in wine casks and sent them off to Alberta.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
And then me and Jasper bought them
No
all.
joke.
Yeah, but yeah, this definitely exceeded my expectations. I feel like if I had known what this was, I would have had a different look at it. So,
And going back to the, talking about Ardbeg and like the drum, and when you have something blind, you could have a whiskey that you've had multiple times over the years, and you get a blind sample of that exact same whiskey, it's gonna taste. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Not always
I've
easy
had
to
that before.
identify.
yeah,
I've been fooled many a times.
Oh, yeah.
sure.
I find that so many things can affect the way that you experience a whiskey. Who are you with? What's the setting? Are you inside? Are you outside? Are you at a bar? Are you at a house?
What did you have for
What
supper?
are you listening to? What have you eaten that day? Like, there's so many different things that can be variables in the way that a whiskey is experienced and appreciated. So this is cool because we try to eliminate as many of those variables as possible and just like dig right into the objective notes of a whiskey. So it's even though like I said, I know what these whiskeys are and I'm still guessing wrong. It's pretty awesome.
It totally is.
Let's keep on keeping on. Whiskey number 4.
Before we go there, Russell, is it Flight Club or Monsters of Isla Rejects? So I can guess right.
Aw.
Yeah. Not all of them are rejects.
That first one, holy crap.
I enjoyed that Bruichladdich a lot more than I was expecting to enjoy that Bruichladdich.
Mm.
And I
Mm.
enjoyed
Orange
that
rind, I like
Bowmore a
that,
lot
Simon.
less than I was expecting to enjoy that Bowmore.
Yeah.
Oh, the three were really, really good.
Yeah, it was a stunner, and it was, I think, the right place after the two we tasted before. So it's pretty
Really
good
well
trap.
done.
Yeah.
On the order of them proper.
I'm with Simon there. I have like a almost an old fashioned made with cask strength 60% whiskey, like super orange forward and
Yeah, along that old fashioned line, I get some like maraschino cherry. There is a savory component to it that I'm not quite sure how to pin it down quite yet. I don't know if it's like a grilled portobello mushroom.
I'm getting like Chinese pork belly, like
Oh,
5 spice.
that's a great, boneless spare ribs
Mhm.
like that. It's probably like a high fructose corn syrup that they use. But there is like a sweet savoriness to it also. It's totally different, but I'm digging the journey of it.
I find it so cool, like how all of these whiskeys have been so different.
Yeah.
I tried to pick some real oddballs for this one, ones that just kind of take people aback a little bit.
You definitely did it. What are you guys thinking on the cask here? I'm thinking probably Oloroso.
Definitely will agree with the Oloroso cask.
Because there is a sweet aspect to it. I don't think it's like a man. Actually, it could be a Palo Cortado. But I think I'm going to stick with the Oloroso.
Even on the palate, it's got that Oloroso sweetness to it. It's actually quite sweet. I wasn't expecting it to be as sweet for the nose.
The nose is really interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
Getting pitted fruits.
Really nice development. Mouth feels solid.
Yep.
I think we're talking cask strength here, especially looking at the legs.
Yeah.
Interesting bitterness to it.
It's the water you're adding.
No water yet. No water yet.
It does have a bit of a drying effect too on the finish.
There's some pretty assertive oak in this one.
Like a pucker.
This was either in some active casks or in a cask for a long time.
Yeah. I'm thinking it's on the older side.
Oh, water brings out just like dank, old, cracked leather.
All right, I'm gonna go there. I'll travel with you.
Got that old wet horse bit, like leather horse bit.
Yeah, this smells like a tack shop.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Oh man,
it's
I'm gonna chuck something out there. I'm going Bunnahabhain Oloroso 1989. Warehouse
Ooh,
Nine.
the Warehouse Niner.
yeah.
I have an IB Duncan Taylor Boone. I was just looking at it. I'm like, this reminds me of that one. So,
Hey guys, I'm very sorry. My daughter is having like a super hard nighttime crisis. Tim, can you keep things on
Yeah,
going?
we'll hold it down for you, Nick.
There you
Take
go
care
on,
of
bud.
business,
Yeah, you
buddy.
do
We
your
got
thing,
you,
buddy.
Nick.
Yep.
We got you, buddy. Good
Nice.
luck.
Good luck.
I'm gonna chug dudes. Ciao, guys.
Climb
Thank you.
back those
Yeah.
whiskeys. So
And it-
Good brother.
Exactly.
Hmm.
You know what? I'm getting a little, now that the water is settled in, I'm really sensitive to sulfur, and there's a note of sulfur on the nose now with water that I didn't notice before. Not in like a negative way though.
yeah,
It kind of integrates okay.
and it's coming off as rotten egg.
Hmm.
When you burn the alcohol off of it.
Yeah.
I'm normally pretty sensitive to sulfur. I'm not getting anything.
It was only with the water. I didn't notice it before at all. And it's not like a burnt tire. It's like Kent was saying. It's more on like the mineral-y side of sulfur.
Interesting, sweet and salty. Like it goes from syrupy to salty to. I
That
kind
kind
of
of leads me on the island vibe too.
stick with my Buna. Buna IB.
I'm sticking there.
Yeah, there's
So
a
we're
really
sti-
nice umami to this.
Mhm.
Really nice.
Very tasty. Great finish.
We got some Boona guesses. That's yummy. What else we got?
Actually, you know what? I just realized that the one that I said, that 89 Oloroso, that's not ammonia. So I'm gonna stick with Warehouse 9.
Okay.
But I think it is ammonia Oloroso.
you are narrowing right in too, Tim. You're just like, this is it.
And I think it's a
Bottle,
finish.
bottle 26 of 340.
That is
I
yummy.
found that one changed a lot though. Like it started off so sweet and
Yeah,
it's just gone all over the map for me.
I'm thinking 16-year-old actually. That's what I'm gonna go with.
All right. Well, are we ready for the reveal?
Boom.
Drum roll.
Figured I'd throw you a loot, I guess, for a loot
Numb
there.
reek.
Oh,
Nice.
Whoa.
Little Billy Walker representation here.
Wild.
So 21 years old, 48%. And yeah, just a whole bunch of different casks in there.
Is this a
Nailed it.
whiskey any one of you guys would have gone out of your way to buy? It's kind of why I
No.
threw it in here because I was
I've
like,
never
I don't
had
think
it.
anyone would buy this.
I've always
necessarily.
wondered though,
Yeah.
because Billy's got some great blending skills, but it
Mhm.
just has been off the radar for me on like a buying front. So you hit another nail right on the head.
Yeah.
well done, Russell. Thank you, brother.
Super, super cool.
So far, this has been the most interesting bottle for me tonight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
I would buy this now for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think it's very expensive either.
No, I
No.
haven't seen them, like a few of them on the shelves, and they're all sub 200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
This
one of
is
those
like,
ones where I just kind of like, it's not super cheap, but it's also one of those ones that I just don't think anyone's going to go out of their way to buy, especially
No.
for the price range. So
yeah, great call, Russell. Like
Mhm.
I would buy this as like a bottle that I would session if there was like, 8 to 10 of us hanging out.
yeah, try this.
Mhm.
What do you
Pass this,
think?
pass it around. Like there's not an off note there. Even like I said, that slight sulfur, it's not off-putting to me. When I definitely like, there are plenty of whiskeys that I've had that I'm like, I can't even smell this a second time.
Mhm.
It's solid. That's a banger.
Yeah, I like that one. All right, on to our final whiskey of the evening. Let's get into the dirty vodka.
Smells like vodka.
Whew.
Hey, Mike, will you post the actual results after this somewhere, or maybe wait a few days and then do it if you don't mind?
Yeah, that was something I kind of wanted to talk about. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I don't want to spoil it for anyone
Fair
else.
enough.
Clearly, not everyone's
Yeah.
here. I just don't know what.
Is there?
You could post it as like a link to an external like Google Doc or something. So you have to like
Yeah,
click through
great
the
call,
link to
great
see the
call.
results.
Yeah, I'd
Is
like
it-
that.
Isn't there a files tab underneath
Mm,
the group?
yeah.
Like we could chuck it on an Excel form and then upload it to the files.
Yeah, I
Think
just
we
wasn't
could do
taking
that with the
pictures.
whole PowerPoint there, Mike. Throw the not the whole video, but the PowerPoint. You throw that in the files.
That's not a bad
You
idea.
probably could.
Yeah.
I think so. I think Facebook will let me do that.
Because originally I'm like, well, I'll just post all the bottle pops live like tonight. I'm like, well, that's I don't know. I don't want.
Careful, that might be a hate crime.
Yeah, that might be. I don't know. I'm not so sure about this vodka here. This is like a hate crime.
Yeah, it doesn't smell like.
Honestly,
Okay, I'm gonna give it an honest attempt here.
I'm getting like a tequila cask finish.
Like maybe that Kilhoman tequila.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think it could be. And I've had a bunch of those. Some that I really liked, a couple that were not so spectacular, but there's like a saltiness.
This is dirty.
That
This
that
is-
tastes way better than it smells.
I
Like
was gonna
way
say the
better.
palette on this just blew my mind.
Oh my god! And the finish is pretty good.
You guys are cracking me up.
The nose is just absolute garbage.
Like it's so thick on the palate, it's just chewy.
Yep, I'm going with the tequila finish. Kilhoman. 6 year, 7 years. 58%ish.
The Impex one, the 0321.
Could be. Although that wouldn't be in Canada though, so that would have to be a special delivery from a one and only Travis.
Yeah, who else would it be, right?
Yeah. He
It's
just
a delicious bottle though. It's a
he
beautiful
did just
bottle.
deliver like 80 Kilhoman to me like in the last month and a half. So
Interesting.
Very chewy for sure.
Yeah.
That was a comment in the chat. Fully agree with that.
There was a Kilhoman tequila from SAQ recently, but like it was pretty bad. I feel like it was a lot worse than this is.
The Impex one was fantastic. The Mezcal, I think I have 2 or 3 single cask. The Mezcal one's really like floored me. Just I feel like that smokiness that you get integrates so well with the Kilhoman spirit. But I'm not convinced that this is I think this is the tequila cask versions.
This is really grassy, really herbal. Getting like lemongrass.
Yep.
Yeah.
More lime zest. I found on the palate like immediately big hit of lime, and then kind of went into some more like black licorice and
Anise. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, great
some
call.
fennel,
Yeah.
grilled fennel.
Mm-hmm.
is the nose growing on anybody at all? Because it kind of grew on me a little bit.
It definitely did, Russell. I was just gonna say that. Like it opened up 10 to 20% more than.
I feel like it's actually gotten worse over time though. I remember pouring this out and I sniffed it right after I poured it out. And at that point, I was sure it was a Kilhoman and it smelled pretty typical. And then coming back to it, it's got that tequila smell to it.
Interesting, because I'm going to say the exact opposite. I poured mine out about an hour ago, and it was my favorite at then, and now it's even more.
It's definitely very interesting.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of us can kind of appreciate that, where it's definitely different.
It's a
This one's an oddball. I
it's
like
a journey type of a whiskey. Like
Mhm.
my wife hates when we sit down to drink because I'd never go with like one bottle. It's like I'm laying out this whole
Gauntlet.
cornucopia, and like to me this fits like in that, you know, right exactly where you placed it, Russell. This is like a finisher. You're looking at the finish line. It may not be the last, but it's close. Because there is, like, for how light it is, there is nuance to it that's really interesting. It's not something that I'm going to have multiple pours of. Maybe two.
Well, Mike came up with the order, so kudos to him.
Oh, killer. Way to go, man.
He nailed it on
This
that
is one that you finish a fire night with, because it's
100%.
they'll handle everything else you drank over the night.
Smoke and everything, yeah.
This
Yeah.
is one that if I had it on my shelf, anytime somebody came over, at some point I'd pull it out, be like, you got to try this one.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
You might not like it, but you got to try it.
yeah, yeah.
Is this a unattainable bottle, or is it still kicking around places?
Well, I'm in
It's
Ontario, so
attainable.
they're all unobtainium.
Yeah, that's attainable.
All right, so who's got some guesses? We got a lot of Kilhoman. We got a lot of tequila casks. I've seen a few Lechicks. What else we got?
I'm gonna go mezcal cast, Kilhoman.
All right.
I feel like I've had this before.
Yeah, it's Killerman for sure.
Mm.
But which one? Mezcal is a good call, and tequila too. So.
Well, I
Mike,
will tell you all.
I'm glad you're hosting, Mike, because I couldn't keep a straight face knowing exactly what it is and like be able to hold a conversation. Like I'm so bad at secrets. Like, good for you. I would be like, oh, you're totally wrong.
You don't play poker, eh?
I'm terrible. Yeah.
Well, let's see what it is.
Oh, I knew it.
Oh,
Jesus.
yeah.
That's a weirdo.
Wow.
Damn.
We
That
had
is
this
an odd-
around the fire the other day. I was like, damn, this tastes familiar. And I was trying to think what it was.
Wow.
Nice. It's a nice bottle.
Yep.
I'd buy it.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Great call, guys.
Yeah, I like this whiskey a lot. And, you know, sometimes you just want something weird, right?
Yep.
This one's weird.
That
It's
it
making
is,
me
yeah.
want to go and grab that mezcal and tequila Kilhomans. I think I'm actually going to run for 2 seconds, and because I want to side by side it.
Yeah,
Do it,
I'll be
that'll
right
be the
back.
after party, man. I'm with you. I got it right behind me.
do it, do it, do it. All right, so we've gotten through 5 extremely different peated whiskeys. So anybody got a favorite?
I'll go with the Brookladish was the stunner for me.
That
That
was
was
a
a beauty.
shocker for me too. Yeah.
Lefroy was really good too. I enjoyed that one. Number 1.
Yeah. Lefroy overall, nose on the Brooklady for me.
I'm gonna be the odd man out and say that I really, really liked that Bowmore.
Yeah.
I
that-
thought the fruitiness on that, the melon notes on that, I thought that was really nice.
Did
That's
that
one
have
I feel
any
like I
of the
would reach for pretty
typical-
often.
Did that have any of the typical Bowmore notes at all? Like
No.
No, there was none of the tropical fruits. There was none of the
Yeah.
what you'd expect from a Bowmore of that age. It was just
It's unique.
I don't know what it tasted like, but it was good.
Yeah. That's one of the problems with knowing what you're drinking. Is that's the position I was in, and I'm drinking it, and I'm like, I'm disappointed. This doesn't taste like a Bowmore at all. So I hate it. Oh, I didn't hate it. Sorry, but I'm just like, oh man.
It
So
didn't
you
live
guys
up to your
could
expectations.
truly appreciate it for what it was, and kind of like, assess it on its merits. And I was like, wow, this is Bowmore. I'm out of here.
Expectation creates a lot of disappointment.
Yes, absolutely.
That's valid.
That's why I like the blind.
Yeah, blind's
That
awesome.
blind is good, and that's why kind of I've been going with the approach of trying to incorporate at least a portion of a tasting blind, like do 2 or 3 whiskeys, even if it's in the after drams, just have them blind, and uh, appeal to everybody a little bit to that
But
sense.
if you want to turn the question around, what was the more surprising one? For me, it's the McNair.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have run a long time to guess this one.
I never would have.
No,
Yeah,
and this
never
one
ever.
was, this is in my top 3 tonight.
Yeah, it was very good. The Lafroig blew me
Yeah.
away.
Oh, the frog was awesome. Like that had everything you want in an old Isla whiskey.
This is to give you guys a comparison, this is the Kilchoman 2013 8-year-old 54.8 Mezcal. The color is very light, just
Looks
like
that does look like dirty vodka.
It does.
yeah.
Hey, Mike, can we take the screen share off, and then everybody will go a little bit bigger and we can see Tim's screen better?
Sure.
Yeah.
There we go.
So very light, like just a tinge.
Man, Tim, your hands are so big. Look how small that Glencairn is.
I like to feel like a giant when I'm drinking.
I'm going the other way.
And you know what? The mezcal it definitely is smokier than what that the tequila is a little closer, but the color is a little darker. This is the uniquely Isla series.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was for the Netherlands because these came from Peter Willems. Once again, big ups to my dude.
Are these not the Cask Evolutions ones?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. That's the one I
No,
was.
these were part of like he was going to do a tasting the entire series. So it was like 12 different whiskeys in this series. It was 2022. So
Yeah, because I have the Mezcal that was 0121 and then the tequila was 0321 Impacts Cask Evolution. Those are the ones I was thinking of.
yeah, these were the for Europe.
Yeah, Netherlands. You said
Yeah,
yeah. I didn't have my hands on those. That's awesome.
the tequila one is 2013 8-year-old 55.3%.
Do you have the Cask Evolution ones?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I have the bottles of these were just samples. So I do have I have to make my screen smaller on Zoom, pull up my ridiculous inventory. Because I'm one of those psychopaths that has like every whiskey that I've got.
Well, I was just going to send you a sample. I don't need to see the inventory. But if you want to pull it up, bring it.
I
Bring
was
it
going
on.
to say, Tim, you want to come to my house next and log all my stuff?
Yes, it
It's
is.
like I have like distillation date, bottling
Oh,
date, year
it.
of the cask, the ppm level, and the size of the bottle, and the alcohol percentage.
Wow. It's like your liver's inventory.
Yeah, basically. Well, it'll allow the coroner to know exactly.
We can't quite figure it out. We think it's this.
I have bottles of the Royal Mile exclusive mezcal finish. That was a 2013, bottled in 2021. I think that was one of the first ones that Kilchoman did, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean the Cask Evolution is 0121, so obviously that's the first time it sounds like they started bottling it.
Yep.
Ooh,
And then I've got a tequila finish, a 6-year-old 2013 Tequila finish 2012. There was a number of them. The Impex ones though, I guess I don't have that. I think I only have samples of it. Yep, that's the case. Did not get my hands on the Impex ones. I'm sure they're bangers too, because Impex.
You said you have samples or you don't have samples?
I do have sample.
Okay, I was gonna say, I can hook you up if you want.
I'll have to dig, but yeah, I think I do.
It's interesting how the Lecheg matches up.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
Like when you met,
just
this is what I'm comparing it with.
uh-huh.
They're very, very similar.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Does
like very,
it say what the cask is on that? That's a G&M, right?
yeah. It is refurb. Yeah, it's a refilled bourbon barrel. Cask
Okay.
number 1660609.
Wow.
It's like this.
Then that's just the spirit that's giving it that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
Because like you even look at them in the glass, like I know it's going to be hard to tell. So this is the one, my bottle, and this is a sample.
Yeah.
They're like,
It's like water.
they're one shade, like this bottle's one shade darker.
Wild.
Hmm.
I love it. That's the beauty of these.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great
This
lineup,
tastes-
man. Nice order too, Mike.
Thank you. Glad you enjoyed that. Tried to make it interesting.
Well done, Mike.
Yeah.
Yep. Great
You
job,
really
Mike.
Set the
Thanks
stage.
for letting me pick on you again. It's been a while.
I've missed it.
Me too. I'm hoping that you're going to make your way out here in September.
Well, I'm definitely hoping to get out there. Got lots of family to visit and lots of friends to see and one particular fire to go to.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, just in case you guys don't know, our In the Spirit event is September 23rd this year. Tickets are on sale through Eventbrite. And yeah, we're raising funds for youth arts here up in Alberta. So
Very cool.
I figure we're probably going to hit around 300 people at this event this year. So
That's
awesome.
amazing. Good
Yeah.
for you.
hopefully.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time and investment into trying to make this go. It's amazing, these
imagine.
festivals. They're not. You don't just snap your fingers and they just don't happen.
No, the behind the scenes work for that type of stuff is insane.
Yeah.
Especially
What are you raising money for, buddy?
Youth art.
Oh, that's awesome. Like, is it music or is it like paint, like arts and painting?
We have a lot of musicians, some dance clubs that we give away bursaries for dance. A lot, well, mostly musical. It's
performance
there's
art.
Yeah, performing. There is an insane amount of talent, and trust me, I have none of it. Here's my talent right here.
It's knowing your skills and finding someone else. Yeah, honestly, I'm pouring whiskey at Celtic Fest down here, but send me whatever information you have, and I'll try to help support them down here. I won't be able to come, obviously, but
Yeah. I'm going to be posting another link into the New Whiskey Order here again for ticket sales. So we're
Can I just send a donation, or do I have to buy a ticket?
buy a ticket. Yeah.
Whatever, it's fine.
How much are the tickets? Do you know yet?
So we're $100. Gives you regular. We're doing a round robin.
Yeah.
Right now we're looking at about 24 tables, but we could go up as high as about 36 in the event. So as the vendors come on, we've got more guys coming on all the time. We can sell up to 400 tickets to fit the event. We've got, yeah. And what I've done is got 24 tickets for a master class at 135 Canadian. And I can't talk who might be coming, but we're in talks with these guys.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Could I sponsor a chair for someone?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Same thing. Like, I'm not gonna come, but can we like buy a ticket for someone else?
You totally can. Yeah. Yeah, just as long as they, because it's all on Eventbrite, so as long as they have the Eventbrite information, they can show up. So we
Cool.
look at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or if there's someone that you know that would like to go but maybe can't afford it, like I would love to sponsor someone to be able
Yeah.
to go.
That's awesome, guys.
That is very, I never ever expected anything like that. I even have a response for that. It's like, yeah. I mean, honestly,
you can each pay for one of them. You have like a couple that wants to go or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
honestly,
let's
you
pick it
guys
up
should
fine.
just come up.
I would love to.
That'd be amazing.
I need to. I have to make my way. I have a friend in the snowboard world. He is a pro rider for a brand that I used to work for up north of Quebec City. I have to visit him. I have to get out to BC. I got a list of.
I'm just
Canadian
in the middle
spots.
of those.
I know.
BC's
Well, yeah,
here.
so
We're
then-
here. You know,
And
Quebec.
it should be like a puddle jump in between. And one of our one of the team riders that that rides for Arbor still, the brand that I used to work for, he has his pilot's license and a plane too. I don't know if I want him flying me all the way across the provinces though in a Cessna, but
BC, Alberta, not so big deal. If you're going to Quebec, you're not doing it in a Cessna.
yeah, he's based out of Quebec, so
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that's not going to happen. Not without well, I mean, let's see, Quebec, you're going to need probably to fill up the plane about 3 times just to get through Ontario.
Right, yeah,
You
exactly.
know, and then 300. Yeah, you're going to need another 2 more to get to Alberta after that.
And I don't know if I could handle him in the plane for that amount of time.
Trust me, just jump on one of the jets, and we're expensive up here for airplanes, but yeah.
I would love to
Get on a jet plane and get here quick.
You have such a great community around your spot. I'm so jealous. I see all of your like bottle pop posts, and I'm like, God damn! If I
know
even,
it's always around a
five-
fire. It looks beautiful. It's
if I
nice.
could get 5 people, I would be stoked.
I can tell you from experience, it is exactly as good as it looks.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
I'm hoping it's
tell.
better than it looks, but yeah, the
bunch
camaraderie
of
that
broken
goes on
bottle
around the
tops and
fire is and we have a certain person here with red hair that is majorly responsible for all that food. So if you guys, you know, you're seeing the caramels, the cakes, that's Nicole.
The bacon.
The bacon,
Proper.
candied bacon.
Yeah,
Oh
all
my
sounds amazing.
Mm.
So everything she does, like fudge and chocolate, it all has whiskey in it. The
Oh,
cakes all
man.
have whiskey in it. It's all whiskey related, and everybody just walks out of here. People say, "I'm coming to the fire. I'm not eating supper," and they walk out of here going, "All right, no."
That's awesome.
That's
Very cool.
proper. That is
Well,
proper.
on that note, I'm gonna wrap up the recording of the event.
Shit, you were
Wanted
supposed to stop that a long time ago. We don't talk about that.
I wanted to get the information about your event, Kent, into the recording. I think it's a fantastic event, a great cause, and we want that information to certainly get out there. So slant shit, everybody. Of course, everybody feel free to stick around. We'll have our own little after drams. We don't have bouteille, but
I don't know.
thank you everybody for joining us.
Yeah.
Slant shit.
Cheers.
Lunch
Thank
up.
you guys. Awesome.